My beloved Charlotte Hornets, man, where do I start? Because it feels like this season, it already feels like every other season. We're 4-10, 14 games in. We're dealing with injuries already. Two of them are our primary scores. LaMelo Ball, who was out for 5 games with an ankle injury, he's come back, but he's on minute restrictions. He hasn't played the back-to-back that he had, and which is understandable. With a guy like LaMelo, we're going to want to take it slow, especially because he's been injured every single season, except like one where he played 72 games, and honestly, when he played 72 games, that was the most wins we've had since he's been on the team, so we want to keep him healthy. The other guy, though, Brandon Miller, he was out a majority of last season. This season, he's already missed every game except like 2 or 3 with a shoulder injury. He is back with basketball activities. He's not in the lineup yet, but hopefully that is soon. So injuries have already riddled this team so far. And it feels like that's just what happens every season. We won 19 games last year. I was hoping to make the playoffs, which we can still make the playoffs. 4-10 is once we get healthy, it's not that crazy. But it's the Hornets, so who knows? Health is a big thing. Health is a big concern going forward. We want LaMelo to stay healthy. We need Brandon Miller to stay healthy because, like I said, those are 2 of our primary scorers. We got Nipple now, who is dropping 20 points per game. He's in my opinion, the best player in the draft so far. An absolute steal at number 4. I thought we were going to go with Ace Bailey. We ended up getting Nipple, who is hooping. I wanted VJ Edgecombe. I'm happy with Con. Ryan Kalkbrenner, like, we got some good Sion James, like, we got some good draft picks. But he's a big scorer. Miles Bridges, of course, is a big scorer. Miles Bridges is actually hooping right now. Miles is hooping right now. And honestly, I don't know if a lot of other people feel this way, but I think we should trade Miles Bridges because I think his trade value is at an all-time high right now with how he's been hooping, that we could use that and trade him for a veteran, which this team desperately needs. I think we are the youngest team in the NBA with an average of, 23.3 years old. We're the youngest team in the NBA. We don't have veteran experience. We got Mason Plumlee. We need a veteran guard on the team to help LaMelo, to Colin Sexton, Trey Mann, Nipple. We need a veteran guard, which is, I really wish we would have got Chris Paul in free agency instead of him going to the Clippers. We saw what he did with SGA, what he does for all these young guys, his experience, just the way that he leads. He's a big leader. Wish he would have came to Charlotte to help LaMelo Ball, because Lord knows he needs the discipline. But yeah, Miles Bridges' trade value is at an all-time high right now. I really think we should trade him. But I really like our team. And they're young. Need a veteran, though. Another negative that I got before I get to the positives, besides the health, which is one of the biggest ones, is coaching. I don't want to sit here and be disrespectful to Charles Lee. But my goodness, sometimes it seems like he doesn't know what he's doing out there sometimes. His rotations, when he pulls players, when he puts players in, like, sometimes it just seems unmethodical. Like, it's not methodical at all. He pulls players when they're hot. He puts players in over certain players that probably should, like Trey Mann, getting more minutes than Colin Sexton at times is unbelievable, because Colin Sexton, you want to talk about someone who could get a bucket, someone who's a threat out there, it's Colin Sexton. What a great addition by the Charlotte Hornets. I think he's on his last year. I hope we give him an extension or give him a contract. Give him 4 years. I would love to see Colin Sexton on this team. He's young. He's a great guard. I love it when him and LaMelo are out there at the same time. Him, LaMelo, and Nipple, like, man, what a lineup. Trey Mann being over him in certain situations is crazy. LaMelo being hot, and then Charles Lee taking him out. And so when LaMelo gets back in, he's cooled down, he's cold. There was one game where that happened where LaMelo was going absolutely ridiculous. I think it was against Miami Heat. In like the first quarter, LaMelo was going absolutely ballistic. Charles Lee takes him out for whatever reason. and LaMelo is basically cold for the rest of the game. And he continuously, I don't know what his obsession with Trey Mann is. Trey Mann's a hooper. I love Trey Mann. He's shifty. He's swaggy. Trey Mann, though, is also very young. Sometimes doesn't make the best decisions. And Charles Lee likes to put the ball in his hand in crunch time moments a lot, which I don't really understand. I think Colin Sexton or LaMelo should have the ball. Even Concanipple, I mean, he's that 3 against the Bucks, to send us to overtime. I mean, that was, I mean, I'd rather have the ball in his hands. Or Sion James. I think I'd rather have the ball in his hands. Pat Connaughton, like, come on. The coaching just doesn't seem reliable. It doesn't seem consistent. And I know Charles Lee is a young coach, and he's a newer coach. Last year was his first year as a head coach coming from the Boston Celtics. Won 19 games last year, had a lot of health issues. LaMelo out for a big majority. Brandon Miller out for a big majority. He didn't really have too much to work with last season. So I can't really fault him on that. But this season, I've watched every game this season. I've watched every single game so far this season. And sometimes I just sit there with my face in my palm, wondering what Charles Lee is doing. That's a big negative I have for this team. Hopefully he gets it together. Hopefully he figures it out. I understand it's early in the season. He's trying to figure out rotations. He's trying to figure out this team. He's trying to build chemistry. I get it. I understand. We're 14 games in, though. We should start figuring out because we're 4-10, okay? I don't know if the higher-ups are telling Charles Lee to tank, which I really hope not, because, boy, do we need a playoff game in Charlotte. Haven't had one since 2015-2016 season, if I'm not mistaken, against the Miami Heat, where we're up 3-2. Purple shirt guy. We need playoffs in Charlotte. So Charles Lee, please figure things out. The only other negative I have is just, I don't even know if it's really a negative, is we're young. We're just a really young team. Not a lot of experience. We're going to have to build experience. And I really hope we could keep the core guys. Colin Sexton, LaMelo Ball, Ryan Kalkbrenner, Sion James, Concanipple. Who else would I like to continue to keep? Brandon Miller. Miles Bridges, get him out there. We could use another good small forward. Musa Diabate, great player as well. Keep those young guys together. Get them a little experience. Look at OKC Thunder. I'm not comparing them in any way, but they were a super young team that took a little bit to figure it out. But shout out to Chris Paul. We go back to Chris Paul. He helped that team out drastically. Now we can move on to the positives. I guess the positive is we're young. We got time to figure it out. We got time. And these guys are good. Like, these are good, talented guys that are young. I mean, Khan has already come out and shown that he's a great guy. Him and LaMelo. I think LaMelo, and Brandon Miller could be such a crazy trio. Like, honestly, they could be such a crazy trio. The way that LaMelo facilitates the Con, it looks like they're in sync. It looks like LaMelo and Con are already in sync. And Concanipple is just so great for the team. I think they had like a team dinner at Concanipple's house in Wisconsin a few games ago. Great for team chemistry. Great for team bonding. But these guys are young. Got time to figure it out with a young coach. Hopefully, Charles Lee could be the guy. We'll have to figure that out. More positives is man, did we hit on this draft class. Sion James, Ryan Kalkbrenner. We haven't really seen too much of McNeely, and then obviously Concanipple. Ryan Kalkbrenner has been a stud. Last night's game against, who was it? The Raptors. There was a couple plays, especially down the stretch, he just looked a little slow, which is understandable. I mean, he's still got weight to put on. He still needs to put on some speed. He's still getting acclimated to playing pro ball. I mean, he spent 5 years in college, though. He's not 20, 21 years old. I think he's, 24, 25. Out of Creighton, 5 years he spent there. I think once he muscles up a little bit, gets a little bit faster, and not even just that, just learns techniques. Like, as a center playing pro ball, learning techniques, I think once he figures all that out, he's going to be a great center. I mean, He's already been fantastic this year. Just like you give it to him at the rim, he's going to make it. He's reliable. Sometimes he's got a little bit of butterfingers, a little bit of disorientation down in the paint, but it's okay. I mean, he's reliable in the paint. He's already been proven to be a great center. This is probably one of the best center draft picks we've had in Lord knows how long. Because, boy, could we have not been able to hit on a center in so long. I haven't seen a good prolific center here since Al Jefferson. I think we got Roy Hibbert out after Al Jefferson, but he was kind of like out of his prime at that point. I think we got Dwight Howard too, but that was like after his prime as well. Or maybe it was, I think Dwight Howard actually won a ring after with the Lakers. So maybe it wasn't, maybe he was still good. Yeah, I mean, our draft picks have been absolute hits. That's another positive. Going forward, I mean, I don't want... There's a lot of people calling for LaMelo Ball's name, and I personally am not calling for LaMelo's name. He does have problems. I mean, he's been like this since I've been watching him at Chino Hills. Like, some of his shot making, his shot decisions are just like very questionable. Like, why are we pulling that? There's 18 seconds left on the shot clock, and he's throwing, and he's chucking it 6 feet behind the line. It's like, or behind the 3-point line. It's like, what are we doing, man? What are we doing? Slow it down sometimes. Let's find a play. But it's also, the guy knows how to facilitate. Like, the guy with the ball in his hands, half-court transition, like, he's going to get the ball into a shooter's hands. He's going to get it somewhere. He just does take a lot of questionable shots. And that's where I think a veteran can help with the discipline. Help him be like, a veteran come in and be like, look, in certain situations, you got to slow the rock down. You got to set up the team a little bit more. You have to look at the defense, figure it out, figure out places to put your best players, where to put your shooters, where to put your forwards, and set up plays. Just set up plays and facilitate on the floor at a high level without having, because he's got players like Brandon Miller is a scorer, Colin Sexton can score, Con Knipple can score, Ryan Kalkbrenner can score. He's not the best scorer, but he can score. He has the players around him now. This isn't a LaMelo team. Miles Bridges. How could I forget about Miles Bridges can score? This isn't a LaMelo team where he doesn't have all these players. If anything, LaMelo has been missing shooters. His entire stint in Charlotte, he just hasn't had shooters, and now he's got shooters. So now he's got to be like, look, I got the team around me. I just have to slow it down, build chemistry with the guys, and facilitate at a high level. Which, he's 24 years old. He's young. He's going to figure it out. And I mean, he's still, got 3 years left in Charlotte? I want him to be in Charlotte forever. I don't know, I don't know how big the market is for LaMelo Ball, especially concerning his health and all of that. But I would love to keep him. 100%. I hope this team can figure it out. Because, man, is basketball fun in Charlotte. Like, I went to the home opener. Man, the crowd wasn't full. It's not going to be like the Golden State Warriors. It's not going to be like OKC. The crowd isn't going to be stacked every night. I went to the home opener, though, against the Brooklyn Nets. And, man, it was electric. We won the game. It was electric seeing LaMelo out there, Brandon Miller out there, the rookie Con Knipple in his first game. I think he dropped like 20 or something like that, 15, something. It was fun. It was electric. Basketball in North Carolina is Duke, UNC, the Charlotte Hornets, like Wake Forest. Like, basketball belongs in North Carolina. We need a good pro team. And I feel like these young guys can deliver. With a little bit of help, with a little bit of experience, with a little bit of health, and some good coaching. I hope this team figures it out. It's a long season, 68 more games left. East isn't the strongest this year. I think, who do we play next? The Pacers. I think we can get a dub there. Just let's figure it out. Let's get Brandon Miller back in the lineup healthy. Let's keep LaMelo healthy. And let's make a push for the playoffs.